Alright, so just like the title says, I'm going to be ranking every physical copy of a PlayStation game that I have at hand. Most of these are PlayStation 4 games, there's 4 PS5 games, and we got a surprise appearance from PlayStation 3. This is going to be done on a whim, so there was really no thought behind it besides just doing it off the cuff. So why not do it with our gut? How about that? So none of these games are bad games, but some are better than others. Some are much better than others. So our last place game, it's not bad, but it's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Good game, very short game, only 10 hours long. Unfortunately, was still full price. I mean, for 10 hours, this could be a DLC. Still a good game though, and I look forward to the Spider-Man 2 sequel coming out. Next we have Outer Worlds. I had a lot of hope for this because it's made by Obsidian, developers of Fallout New Vegas, but unfortunately, I mean, I don't think it has lived up to that. Maybe I put it on too high of a pedestal. It's still a good game. It's got some really good role-playing elements. It got some funny dialogue, but I just think it leaves much to be desired. I hope that the sequel rectifies some of the problems I had with it. But I will say Monarch is a fantastic planet to explore. Okay, next up. And I think the only multiplayer game I have here, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This is the last Black Ops that I bought physically, or last Call of Duty I bought physically. Great game. Love the multiplayer. Love the VMP. Love the Vector. Hunted is one of the best Call of Duty maps. I don't play Call of Duty as much as I used to, but this is a great game. Wish it got more respect than it does. Okay, back to solo single player from here on out. And I'm gonna have to go right here. I'm gonna have to go with Ghost of Tsushima. Great game. You know, many people say this should have been game of the year in, was it 2020? Not necessarily sure if I agree or not. It's a fun game, follows the Ubisoft formula. I think the showdowns, the duels that you had with the other samurai or whatever, I thought that was really fun. It had a great story. I chose not to kill at the end. I'm not going to spoil. But yeah, very great game, and I didn't play the DLC, but I look forward to the movie or the series that's coming out. Yeah, fantastic game. All right, next up, very underrated piece from 2019. We got Jedi Fallen Order. Definitely had some issues at launch. Definitely has its frame rate issues, but if you're a Star Wars person, if you're a Star Wars human being, you will probably love this game. Especially if you like Soulsborne type games. This does very well in that department. I think it's just a fun game. The ending's really good. Yeah, Dothamir, really fun to explore. Gonna have my cat go by here. And we're gonna go with right here. A bit of a tough decision, but we're going with The Last of Us Part 2. One of those games that I feel like is a little overrated, but also severely underrated. I mean, people really drug this through the mud, and still do to this day. But I think what this video game was able to accomplish, and I think is just something special. A lot of people went into this with revenge on their minds, and I can understand that, but at the end of this story, I just kind of felt bad for both the characters. Very emotional, and very good gameplay. A little bit of pacing issues for sure, but pretty much nonstop action and a story that I was really engaged in. I can definitely see people's issues with this game, but for me, it's a very, very, very solid game. All right, we're really getting into some good ones now. Ooh. All right. One of the weaker Fallouts of the 3 that I've played, but still a damn good game. I mean, you lose some of the RPG elements, but you still got the open world aspects. Glowing Sea was really fun to explore. The DLCs with Far Harbor and Nuka World were very fun, especially Far Harbor. Fun companions. I mean, was it what I wanted in a Fallout game? No. Was it fun though? Yes. I mean, you should see how many hours I put into this dang game. Very good. Are there better Fallouts though? Absolutely. Oof. Oh man. Oh. All right. Hey buddy. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, everybody's played this game, but while the story is not to the levels of San Andreas, or definitely not to the levels of GTA 4, still a very, very fun game. Still a very fun sandbox game. Absolutely fun online if you have people to play with. I spent tons of hours on 2013, 2014 playing this. Great game. Game you can just get in and just do whatever you want. Just have fun. Very cinematic. Not my favorite story, but it's a blast to play, and definitely deserves to be up here. All right, looking around. Oh boy. Oh man, I tell you what. If it was up to me, this game right here would have probably gone in between Black Ops and Ghost of Tsushima. So we're gonna put that there, but I'll talk about it real quick. Very excited for this game because I had just gotten into the Resident Evil series like a couple years prior, maybe, or like 2 or 3 years prior. But it's not one of the best. It's still a pretty good game though. Who doesn't love Lady D? The second portion of the story is very scary, which is what I like to see in these games. Has some good action. It's a good story. Does a good job ending the Withers saga, at least I think it does. Shadows of Rose DLC, very, very underrated, but still, there's better Resident Evil games out there. It's still good though, and we'll put it right there. All right, now where are we at next? Ooh. Well, speaking of Resident Evil, we're gonna go with Resident Evil 4. I may regret putting this in this position because it's a great game. It's an all-timer. Great remake. Fantastic non-stop action, really intense. Played the crap out of it when it came out earlier this year. But I just think some of the other games I have over here are better. But oof. I mean, if you haven't played a Resident Evil game, maybe start here. Oof. And now, we're going with God of War Ragnarok. Is this better than God of War 4? I don't think so, but it's pretty good. I couldn't put this down when it came out. It's a shame that a game like this came out when a clear Game of the Year winner came out in the same year, because some people may gloss over how good this really is. It's a great game, great hack and slash. I loved playing it. I thought the story was pretty good. Can't go wrong with God of War Ragnarok. Great game. Oof. All right. Next up, we got Resident Evil 2 from 2019. Oh yeah, this is a great game. It does a good job blending action and horror with Mr. X encounters. Fantastic. Got me into the Resident Evil series. When I played this, I was like, okay, I gotta play all of them. And to this day, the only one that I haven't played on the main line is RE6, which I haven't heard great things about, but I'm sure it has its moments. Do I think that this is the best Resident Evil game? No, that's RE1 remake. Still holds up to this day, but fantastic game nonetheless. I beat it as Claire and as Leon. Great game. You know, I said RE4, you should start out there. You could start out here as well. Fantastic. Oof. Now we're gonna go RDR2. It's a fantastic game. It's a very long story game, but it's something that you're invested in. Not much else to say except just like it's just amazing what Rockstar was able to do with such a realistic world. Very engaging story, but just can't go wrong with it. It's just such a good game, and I think everybody should at least try it at some point if you consider yourself a gamer. All right, really, we're getting down to the last four, y'all. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Wish I had the PS3 one, but this is the special edition because I can't help it, Todd Howard. I'm gonna give you my money. But I mean, this game was such a cultural phenomenon when it came out. Everybody played it. It was so interesting to hear other people talk about the areas they had explored, what they did. The main story is not what you play this for. What you play is for the side quests and the exploration and the encounters. And I mean, shoot, just get nostalgic thinking about it. I think this is another one. I mean, pretty much everything that I have coming up is something that you should play. You should try at least once. You know, in retrospect, a lot of people have their issues with Skyrim, and I understand those, but I don't think you can take away the feeling it gave me back in 2011. Yeah, it's fireworks going outside. All right. Oh, man. Just looking at these three. We're gonna go with Elden Ring. Elden Ring is next. Easy game of the year last year. Everybody knew it as soon as it came out. I mean, you merge the writing of George R.R. Martin with the brilliance of Hideki Miyazaki. Just, you know, is it my favorite FromSoft game? No, I would go to Bloodborne. I do not have a physical copy of it, unfortunately. But, I mean, wow, just such a... It's hard to... If you've played a Soulsborne game before Elden Ring, you might have been like, wow, how would they do this in an open world? Well, they did it. They did it phenomenally. They put interesting side characters. They had awesome legacy dungeons. I do not care much for like the last 5 to 10 hours of the game, but it does not take away from the hundreds of hours. It was just amazing. I mean, seeing Siofa River for the first time, Volcano Manor, just really, really, really awesome stuff, and a lot of replayability with this bad boy as well. All right. Like I said, this was on a whim, and I didn't know if I wanted to make this decision. I already know what my number 1 is, but this is my number 2, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and mainly because this has the best DLC out of any game I have ever played, and I've played some good DLC, but I can't wait for this DLC right here. But just really interesting characters, really interesting side quest. Something that I really love that I think is underrated in games is monster variety in different types of monsters. FromSoft games do a great job of that. Witcher 3 did a fantastic job of that. You had monster contracts that you could go fight these unique beasts. Oh, it was so cool. just a really, really awesome game. Story was great. Combat can be clunky for sure. I would hope whenever they do something in the future that they try to maybe look a little more towards what FromSoft has done with their combat. But Witcher, fantastic game, fantastic, and it's a damn shame that the show is kind of meh, because I hope it doesn't mar the view that Witcher 3 has put in. This is a great game, fantastic, fantastic. And it came out the same year as Bloodborne. Can you imagine these two games in the same year? That's incredible. All right, well, if you haven't guessed already, the only PS3 game I got. I mean, I don't even know what I can say here. This is just a phenomenal game. One of the best games I've ever played. Just the amount of role playing, the funny dialogue, the amount of factions that you can join. You can disguise yourself. It has awesome DLC. The only issue is that it's a buggy mess sometimes, but the fact that I still have played this game as much as I have on replays, and just all the things I've done in it, despite all those bugs, that just speaks to how good of a game this is. Remaster, remake, anybody? Please, please.